Her lips were still wet with his when she turned to me and whispered, "Don't wait up tonight, I'm spending it with your best friend." I froze. Not because I didn't hear her clearly. Not because I didn't understand. But because something inside me shattered so fast, so violently, that even blinking felt like betrayal to myself. She stood there in my doorway, my wife, Brooke, dressed like she was headed to some VIP club, heels taller than her integrity, and a smirk playing on her lips like this was all some messed up joke. Only it wasn't a joke. It was real. Too real. "I'm opening up our marriage," she said, all casual, like she was ordering food. "Tonight's my night off from monogamy. Logan's waiting." Logan. My childhood friend. My brother in everything but blood. The guy who helped me through college, helped me move into this very house. The man I'd trust with my life, until now. The whiskey glass in my hand trembled. I just poured it, expecting a quiet evening. Instead, I was staring at the woman I vowed to love, watching her tell me, without blinking, that she was about to be intimate with someone I considered family. I didn't say a word. Couldn't. My mouth was full of broken pride and boiling rage. She leaned in and kissed me on the cheek. That same cheek she used to stroke when she said she'd love me forever. That cheek she used to cry into when we made it through hard times together. She kissed it like I was a stranger. Then she strutted out of the house, hips swaying, her perfume punching the air like a final insult. The door clicked shut. And I was left alone in a house full of wedding photos, anniversary cards, and 1,000 lies. Now let me rewind, just for a second. Not to drag this out, but so you know how I got here. Brooke and I weren't perfect, but we weren't broken either. Or so I thought. We'd been together for 8 years, married for 5. We built a life, solid, stable, full of plans. Or maybe I built it, and she was just decorating it with secrets. The past few months had felt off. She was dressing up more for girls' nights. Her phone was glued to her hand, face down on the table. She was laughing at jokes I wasn't telling. Sleeping in silky things that were never for me. I suspected something. But never this. Never that she'd be bold enough to throw it in my face. And not with just anyone, with Logan. See, betrayal hits different when it's not from a stranger. When it's from someone you love and someone you trust, it's like getting stabbed while someone hugs you. That night I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I sat still, processing every word, every clue I ignored, every red flag I waved off like an idiot. But I wasn't going to stay still. I spent that entire night making calls, checking records, digging through months of ignored signs. I wasn't going to be some sad, silent victim in her twisted game. Brooke thought she was smart, bold, empowered. But she forgot who she married. And if she thought opening our marriage meant she was the only one holding the key, she had no idea what was coming next. I didn't sleep that night. I couldn't. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw her walking out in that tight black dress, smirking like she just won the lottery. I could still hear her heels echoing down the hallway. Still feel her lips brushing my cheek like a goodbye kiss dipped in poison. She thought she owned the moment. That she had the upper hand. But here's the thing about betrayal. It doesn't just hurt. It transforms you. And sitting in that living room, surrounded by the wreckage of our life together, I stopped being the version of myself she thought she could walk over. I became someone else. Someone she didn't plan for. By 6 a.m., I was already collecting digital footprints. Brooke wasn't very careful. Most people get sloppy when they think they're untouchable. She'd logged into her cloud account on my laptop months ago. And she never logged out. Rookie mistake. Within minutes, I had screenshots of her late-night chats with Logan. Flirty messages. Explicit photos. Him calling her Brooksy, like he owned her now. Her replying, "I can't wait to taste your lips tonight," sent a shock of rage straight through my chest. But what hit harder was realizing how long it had been going on. 3 months. 3 months of lies. 3 months of her coming home to me, acting like nothing was wrong. Laughing at my jokes. Lying in my arms. 3 whole months. That morning, I didn't go to work. I took a sick day. Not because I was broken, but because I had work to do, the kind of work no office chair could contain. First thing I did was call Logan. Blocked number. Straight to voicemail. Coward. So I messaged him from a burner account I made just minutes earlier. Something simple. You think you got away with it? Didn't sign it. Didn't need to. I wanted him sweating. Then I booked a consultation with the best divorce lawyer in the city, Jessica Hayes. A savage in court, known for getting her clients everything. I'd heard stories about her burying cheaters without blinking. I didn't want fair. I wanted fire. After that, I dug deeper. I checked our joint bank account. Turns out Brooke had been withdrawing money little by little. A few hundred here, a few hundred there, every other week. Probably funding her hotel meetups, lingerie shopping, and whatever else her little affair fantasy required. And it got worse. I checked our home cameras. We had a doorbell cam she thought I never installed properly. She was wrong. I watched as she kissed Logan goodbye on our porch. Right there. In front of my house. She even looked into the camera once and smiled, like it was a trophy she just won. That was when my stomach dropped. She didn't just betray me. She humiliated me. And suddenly, pain wasn't enough. I needed a plan. A real one. Not just to end this marriage, but to make sure she remembered why she should have never underestimated me. I spent the next few hours building my case. Saved everything. Duplicated the files. Uploaded it all to multiple encrypted backups. Brooke walked in around noon. No shame, no remorse. She wore sunglasses, sipped a smoothie, and tossed her purse onto the couch like nothing happened. She didn't even look at me. Just said, "Hope you're not still mad. You'll adjust." I stood up and smiled, my turn to fake it now. "I'm not mad," I said calmly. "Actually, I've been thinking. Maybe you're right. Maybe opening the marriage is what we needed." Her sunglasses slid down her nose as she looked up. Confused. Suspicious. "You're joking." "No," I said. "But if we're doing this, we're doing it my way now." She stared at me like she'd just seen a ghost. I smiled wider. I wanted her to feel what I felt, caught off guard, powerless, scared. Let the games begin. Brooke wasn't used to me smiling. Not like this. Not when I should have been broken. That's what threw her off. She expected anger, yelling, maybe some pathetic begging. But I gave her none of it. Just a cold smile and a calm voice. She shifted uncomfortably, like her dress suddenly didn't fit right. "Wait, what do you mean your way?" I poured myself a drink. Not because I needed it, but because it gave me time. Time to let the silence wrap around her like a noose. "You said you wanted to open our marriage, right?" I replied, sipping slowly. "So I've decided to take you up on that. I think it's only fair I get a turn." She blinked. Once. Twice. Her lips twitched, trying to form words, but for once, nothing came out. "You didn't think you'd get to screw my best friend and still keep me on a leash, did you?" I said, walking toward her. "We're either all in, or we're nothing. Your move." She finally found her voice. "Jason, I didn't mean for it to be like some competition. But that's exactly what you started." I interrupted. "You just didn't expect me to fight back." The color drained from her face. Her confidence cracked. And for the first time since this whole thing began, Brooke looked scared. I didn't stop there. I dropped a file on the coffee table, labeled neatly with her name. Inside, printouts of her messages with Logan, hotel bookings, timestamps, even the porch cam photo where they kissed. She looked at it like it might explode. "Don't worry," I said. "This isn't for court. Not yet. Just wanted you to know how deep I've dug." She flipped through the pages with shaking fingers. "You've been spying on me?" "No," I said. "You gave yourself up. I just paid attention." She closed the file and sat down like her legs couldn't carry her anymore. I let the silence stretch. And then I said what I knew would push her over the edge. "I've got a date tonight." Her head snapped up. "With who?" I shrugged. "Someone who doesn't stab me in the back while calling it freedom." Brooke shot to her feet. "You can't just, after everything we've been through." "No, Brooke. You don't get to play the victim now. You walked out that door. You made your choice. I'm just living with it." She stormed out of the room, slamming the door behind her. I stood there, letting it all sink in. No, I didn't really have a date. Not yet. But I needed her to believe I did. Because Brooke didn't actually want freedom, she wanted control. She wanted to be the one who got to break the rules while I stayed home like some loyal, broken husband. Not anymore. That evening, she didn't go out. She stayed home, pacing. Trying to figure out if I was bluffing. Trying to decide whether she still had the upper hand. She didn't. Around 9 p.m., I got a message from Logan. Finally grew a pair. We didn't mean to hurt you. It just happened. Coward's excuse. So I replied. Tell Brooke I said thanks for the idea. She just inspired the biggest move of my life. Hope you're ready to lose more than your dignity. No reply. The next few days were quiet. Brooke was trying to play nice. Cooking dinner. Asking if I wanted to watch a movie. Pretending we were normal again. But I wasn't falling for that crap. I had a plan. And the next move? Wasn't going to be just for me. It was going to be for every guy who ever got blindsided by a smile and a lie. The thing about liars is that once they're caught, they don't stop lying, they just get better at hiding it. Brooke went from arrogant to sweet overnight, like she flipped a switch. She cooked my favorite meals. Left notes around the house. Wore that vanilla perfume she knew used to drive me crazy. But her eyes were different. Watching me. Studying. Like she couldn't figure out if I was bluffing or if I really had someone new. I let her wonder. Every time I smiled at my phone, she froze. Every time I left the house, she asked where I was going, trying to sound casual. I gave her nothing. Just vague answers like, out, or, meeting someone. She was unraveling, and I hadn't even touched her yet. The most ironic part? She couldn't handle the very game she started. One night, about a week after she opened up our marriage, she came into the bedroom in a silk robe, trying to seduce me like nothing ever happened. She sat on the bed, legs crossed, and whispered, We don't have to fight anymore. I miss us. Us. The word tasted rotten coming from her mouth. You miss us? I asked, leaning against the dresser. Or you miss controlling the narrative? She blinked, caught off guard. Jason, come on. I made a mistake, all right? But you said you'd take your turn, didn't you? You said you'd get even. Isn't that enough? I laughed, cold, sharp, deliberate. See, that's the problem. You still think this is about getting even. This isn't some relationship drama where we fight, cheat, then hug it out like a trashy soap opera. No, Brooke. This is war. And you fired the first shot. Her smile dropped. You're not serious. Oh, I'm dead serious, I said, walking up to her. You didn't just sleep with someone. You planned it. Lied for months. Spent our money. Used our home. And the best part? You rubbed it in my face like I should applaud you for being so honest. You think you can just show up in lingerie and fix that? She looked down, biting her lip. The same trick she always used to get out of trouble. But I wasn't that man anymore. I filed for divorce yesterday, I said, stepping back. That broke her. What? Jason, no, wait, please. You can't be serious. We have a life. We have a future. No, Brooke, I interrupted. You had a fantasy. I had a marriage. You destroyed it. She stood, her voice shaking. You're throwing everything away over one mistake? One? I threw a folder on the bed. That's at least 12 nights with Logan. 12 lies. 12 times you looked me in the eye after you let someone else in your bed. That's not a mistake. That's a lifestyle. She opened the folder, saw the photos, texts, receipts. Her mouth went dry. You had me followed? She whispered. I smiled. No. You left a trail so wide Stevie Wonder could have followed it. She looked up, eyes glassy, but I didn't care. Not anymore. I'm keeping the house, I said. You'll get your share. I'm not here to ruin you. But I am here to make sure you never forget what you lost. Then I walked out of the bedroom and left her there, half naked, half speechless, and fully defeated. That night, I didn't sleep out of anger. I slept because, for the first time in months, I felt peace. But the real move was coming soon. Something Brooke would never see coming. Something that would make Logan regret ever thinking he could steal from me and walk away untouched. They thought they were playing checkers. I was playing chess. Revenge tastes best when it's served cold, and with a public audience. I gave Brooke her moment. Let her sit in the quiet of that house, surrounded by wedding photos that no longer meant a damn thing. She spent the next day pacing, calling her sister, probably crafting some new version of the story where she was the victim and I was the heartless husband who overreacted. Let her talk. Let her twist it however she needed to. I had my own story to tell, and Logan was about to star in it. You see, I wasn't just planning a quiet divorce. I was planning an education. A lesson in betrayal, taught with precision. Brooke betrayed me emotionally. Logan? He violated a bond deeper than most blood ties. He knew what she meant to me. He knew what we built. And he still crept into my life like a parasite. So I decided to return the favor, in the most humiliating way possible. I knew Logan's job well. He worked at a financial firm downtown, the kind where image is everything. Clean suits, clean smiles, and zero tolerance for scandals. What he didn't know was that his company recently promoted him, and the higher you go, the harder you fall. I dropped an anonymous package at his office. In it, printed screenshots of explicit conversations with Brooke. Dates. Hotel bookings, some on weekdays during office hours. And one picture from my porch camera. The one where Brooke kissed him like he already owned the house. It didn't take long. 2 days later, Logan called me. First time since everything blew up. His voice was frantic. Shaky. Jason, man, what the hell did you do? I let the silence stretch. You trying to ruin me? I finally spoke. Calm. Flat. No. You did that yourself. I just mailed the evidence. You think this is funny? He snapped. They put me on leave. My boss wants a meeting with HR. I've got a fiancé, man. You trying to destroy my life? That stopped me. Fiancé? I asked, my voice lowering. He hesitated. Look. I didn't plan for this. Me and Brooke, it wasn't supposed to mean anything. You were engaged while you were sleeping with my wife? I cut in. He went quiet. You know what, Logan? I said. You're right. I am trying to destroy your life. Because you helped destroy mine. And I hung up. That phone call wasn't for closure. It wasn't for drama. It was for me, to hear the panic in his voice, the weight of consequences finally landing on someone other than me. Later that day, Brooke came home with that look again, the one that said she was pretending everything was fine. Like maybe she thought I'd cool off. That we'd bounce back. That her cooking dinner and putting on makeup would erase 3 months of betrayal. But she didn't know about the Logan package yet. Until her phone rang. I watched her face while she listened. Her grip on the phone tightened. Her eyes widened. Her mouth fell open just slightly. Then she looked at me. What did you do? She whispered. I took a bite of dinner. Something honest. For a change. You ruined his job. No, I said. He ruined his job. I just made sure everyone else knew what kind of man he really is. She slammed the phone down. You're a monster. I chuckled. Takes one to marry one, I guess. She stormed upstairs, but I didn't chase her. I didn't shout. I didn't even flinch. Because for the first time in this entire mess, I felt like I was winning. She opened the gates of hell the night she said, I'm spending it with your friend. She just never imagined I'd walk through those gates with a smile, and burn it all down behind me. After the Logan incident blew up, the silence in the house changed. It wasn't just awkward anymore, it was terrified. Brooke stopped with the fake affection. No more, good morning, kisses, no more pretending to care how my day went. Her eyes followed me like I was a loaded weapon. And to be honest, I was. But I didn't raise my voice. I didn't throw anything. I didn't lose control. Because the best revenge doesn't come from screaming, it comes from letting them bury themselves in the mess they made. And Brooke? She was sinking faster than she realized. I started staying out late. Not for revenge flings, not for drama, just to let her wonder. I went to the gym, had long coffee talks with people I hadn't seen in years, sometimes just sat in my car listening to music. But I always made sure to come home late. With a grin? And a phone that buzzed just loud enough for her to hear. The paranoia was eating her alive. One night she confronted me in the kitchen, her voice shaking, not with anger, but with insecurity. "Are you seeing someone?" I didn't even blink. Would it matter? That's not an answer. I put down my fork. Neither was yours the night you left to meet Logan. She opened her mouth but couldn't argue. She knew. She knew the moment she made her "I'm opening up our marriage" declaration. She killed any moral high ground she thought she had. "I made a mistake," she said quietly. I stood up, looking her dead in the eyes. "No. You made a decision. A mistake is when you spill coffee. You plotted this for months, Brooke. That wasn't a slip, it was a strategy." She looked like she might cry, but I'd seen that performance before. Tears didn't move me anymore. She tried to step closer. "I want to fix this." "Fix?" I laughed coldly. "You didn't break a plate. You lit our house on fire and danced in the ashes." I walked past her, leaving her alone in the kitchen. Again. Later that night, I checked the camera app on my phone. Yep, still running. I'd set one up in my home office a few days prior, just in case. Brooke had this nasty habit of snooping, and I knew it was only a matter of time. And sure enough, there she was, 2 nights later, rifling through my drawers while I was out. She wasn't even subtle. She went through my files, my laptop bag, even tried guessing my computer password. I watched the footage calmly, sipping a drink as she betrayed me again, only now without even sleeping with someone. She was just desperate. Desperate to get control back. But here's the twist. I left a decoy file labeled Plan B. Inside? Nothing but a single line of text. "You should have chosen loyalty." By the next morning, her paranoia had turned into a breakdown. She was snapping at me, crying in the hallway, begging to talk 1 minute and cursing my name the next. Perfect. That's when I handed her the official divorce papers. Already filed. Already moving. She stared at them like they were written in fire. "You're really doing this?" she said, voice barely a whisper. I nodded. "I gave you everything. You gave me a war. You don't get to walk away from that without consequences." She sat on the edge of the bed, holding the papers like they weighed 1,000 pounds. "Can we just talk?" "No," I said. "We talked. You lied. Now we act?" And just like that, the final piece began falling into place. She wanted chaos? I gave her exactly what she asked for. Divorce is a quiet word for what actually happens. People think it's just papers and signatures. But what they don't tell you is how it shreds your life into little pieces. Your memories, your friends, even your damn social circle. Brooke used to be the queen of our world. Every brunch, every wedding, every office party, we were the golden couple. But when I dropped the news publicly, she fell hard. I didn't announce it to be petty. I announced it to be honest. To finally put the truth where it belonged, out in the open, not whispered behind closed doors. I posted a single sentence on social media. "After months of lies and betrayal, I'm choosing peace. Divorce finalized next week." No drama. No names. But everyone knew. The ripple effect was brutal, for her. Mutual friends started texting me privately. "I had no idea, man. Wait, Brooke and Logan? Are you serious? Tell me this is a joke." It wasn't. One of the couples we were closest with, Sarah and Mark, actually blocked Brooke the next day. She noticed. She started spiraling. I came home that evening to find her sitting at the dining table, phone in hand, mascara smudged, scrolling through her Instagram feed like it personally betrayed her. "They're turning on me," she muttered. I walked past her. "Actions have consequences." She looked up at me, tears threatening to fall. "I'm losing everyone. My reputation, my friends. Do you really hate me that much?" I stopped, stared for a second, then calmly said, "I don't hate you, Brooke. I just finally see you." And I meant it. I wasn't trying to hurt her anymore. That part was over. What was happening now? That was just her own mess catching up to her. But Logan? He wasn't done suffering yet. Remember his fiancée? Yeah. She found out. Not from me. Someone else forwarded her a copy of the porch photo, the hotel receipts, and the messages. I still don't know who sent it. Maybe one of the HR people at his office, maybe someone in our circle who had enough. She packed her things and left him the next day. He tried calling me again. This time, I picked up. What the F*** do you want from me? He yelled. You got your revenge, alright? I lost my job, my girl, my damn peace of mind. You happy? I stayed quiet for a beat. Let him feel the silence. Then I said, You slept with my wife in my house. You kissed her on my porch. You thought I wouldn't find out? It just happened, man. No, I snapped. You don't accidentally lie to your best friend for 3 months. You don't accidentally book hotel rooms. You don't accidentally screw over someone who trusted you. He started to say something else, but I hung up. Done. Later that night, I found Brooke in our bedroom with a suitcase on the bed. She looked at me, not with anger, but with a hollow kind of sadness. The kind that shows up when someone realizes they lit the match that burned their own life down. I'll be gone tomorrow, she said quietly. You win. But I didn't feel like I won. There was no satisfaction in watching her pack. No celebration. Just quiet. You never understood, I said, leaning in the doorway. You thought freedom was about options. But it's about trust. And you torched yours. She nodded, then zipped up the bag. As she walked past me, she stopped for 1 second and whispered, I never thought you'd actually leave. I didn't reply. She left. Door closed. And with it, the last echo of the life I thought we had. The door closed with a soft click. That was it. No dramatic exit. No yelling, no crying. Just the sound of Brooke walking away from the ruins she created, and the man who finally stopped trying to fix them. The house was quiet after she left. Unnaturally quiet. For the first time in years, it was just me. No footsteps in the hallway. No perfume in the air. No forced laughs or fake kisses. Just stillness. And you'd think I'd feel relief. But what I felt was clarity. Not the kind that rushes in with victory, but the kind that settles deep in your bones when you realize how much of yourself you gave to someone who never deserved it. I walked through the house like I was seeing it for the first time. Every room held memories, some beautiful, some unbearable. I passed by our wedding photo in the hallway. Her smile in that picture looked so real. So convincing. I took it down and set it face down on the shelf. Not out of spite. Out of acceptance. Because the man in that photo? He was gone. He'd died somewhere between her betrayal and my final decision. The man standing here now was someone new. Someone sharper. Stronger. Someone who'd learned the hardest lesson of all. Love without boundaries is an invitation for destruction. I didn't date right away. Didn't rush out to prove anything. I needed time to rebuild, not my ego, not my image, but my peace. And let me tell you, peace doesn't feel like fireworks. It feels like waking up and not checking someone's texts to make sure they're not lying. It feels like eating dinner without tension. It feels like not having to doubt every word that comes out of someone's mouth. A few weeks later, Logan moved out of state. Couldn't take the heat. Couldn't face the social fallout. His fiancée never looked back. I heard through the grapevine he's working some low-level job now. Humbling, I hope. Brooke? She tried messaging me once. Just one word. Sorry. I didn't reply. Not because I hate her. But because nothing she could say would undo the damage. Some things you just have to live with. And me? I sold the house. Bought a new place across town. Smaller, quieter, no ghosts in the walls. I didn't keep much, just the essentials and a few reminders of who I was before all of this. Funny how losing everything can be the best way to find yourself. I've started traveling again. Picked up my camera, something I used to love before life got too heavy. I reconnected with friends I drifted from while I was busy trying to hold together a marriage that had already collapsed. And now I don't need to prove anything. I don't need revenge. I don't need closure. Because I already got it the moment I stopped chasing her and started choosing me. If you're reading this, or watching this, or living through something like this, hear me. Don't wait for someone else to respect you before you respect yourself. Don't keep giving second chances to people who treat your heart like a scratch card. When they lie, when they betray, when they choose someone else over you, believe them. And then move on. Don't look back. Don't ask, why? You'll never get an answer that makes it okay. Walk forward. And if they ever come crawling back, remember what it felt like when they stood over your heart and smiled as they crushed it. You owe them nothing. You owe yourself everything. That was the end of my story with Brooke. But not the end of me.